The eyes are the windows of the soul.
That's why I paint them so big. I've always done it that way.
Why are you lying?
Sadly, people don't buy lady art.
The painting says Keane. I'm Keane, you're Keane. Smile.
Our next guest has become one of America's most famous artists. The style of his paintings is one you'll recognize immediately. Mr. Walter Keane.
He could sell anybody anything, so he promoted those paintings. He got them out there where people saw them.
Why are your children so sad-eyed and lost-looking?
Well, I started painting children like this in Berlin after the war, painting kind of the lost, starving children of the war.
Nothing in my life has ever made such an impact as the sight of the children, the war-racked innocence.
Their legs were about so big, very tiny, thin, frail, and their eyes were sort of popping out of their faces. And I started painting.
It was difficult because I was so attached to these paintings. They were part of me. Here he is taking the credit for it. These were my children, and I was losing them.
This painting is called The Runaway, and this is very typical of a little girl that I saw running down an alleyway once.
I remember when Mama painted that.
You're confused. I painted that.
By the time I found out he was telling people he did my paintings, their popularity and everything was snowballing so fast.
And thank you very much for the tie. Thank you for the shirt.
What did I give you?
Darling, we're going to get that later, I hope.
I lost respect for him and lost respect for myself.
And this is my daughter and me, and I did myself as a clown and also my daughter.
And then it was an 8-year nightmare. I got afraid of him because he was really, going to have me done in if I said anything. So.
Don't raise your voice.
Oh, I will talk as loud as I want.
No, you won't. Well, I'll have you whacked.
When I saw her with the wig on, it was a shock. It was like seeing myself 50 years ago.
If you tell anyone, I'll have you taken out. I know people.
Well, I was just totally blown away when I saw the way he looked like him, acted exactly like him.
Miss Joan Crawford walked
Mr.
up
King.
to...
Sit down.
A lot of people think that the last 15 minutes are so crazy that they couldn't possibly be true, but Walter actually did that in the trial.
Who spawned these paintings? Why, I created these children.
He actually did cross-examine himself. He was his own lawyer. He did so much that we actually had to pull back a bit because the judge threatened to put duct tape over his mouth.
You don't even know what the truth is.
So, who is the artist?
Hello, Valerie here. Now, what would be your answer if I asked you what the worst film of all time was? What, do you know? Okay, I'll tell you. The film Disaster Movie is officially the worst film of all time. This is according to reviews and opinion polls on IMDb, averaging just a 1.3 out of 10 rating on IMDb and a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. Haven't seen it? I wouldn't bother. Unless you want to see just how bad it is, then go ahead. Download our Film Is Now app, available for both Android and iOS.